Hi, I'm Rachel Chamness at soundwavesheal.com. Today we are talking to Thoth, the Atlantean, and we are discussing some things he brought through in his emerald tablets. So that is the focus for this month, January 2022. And this is the tag Lightworkers Channeled Masterclass. We're calling it the Interdimensional Channeled Masterclass with Thoth. So Thoth is coming forward to help us as light workers to anchor and balance our interdimensional existence on this 3D planet. He is also bringing forth the 7 Masters of Great Wisdom. He also calls them the 7 Overlords of Wisdom and things like that in the Emerald Tablets, but we'll call them the 7 Masters. And they are really just frequencies of light and vibration. We have Untanas, Quertas, Chietal, Goyana, Huertal-Seventh, and Ardal. And if you missed my last Ascension in 5D chat with Rebecca Marina, then I just want to let you know that Rebecca Marina is the one who channeled their names. And when I checked in with it, it really resonated with me as also correct in my life dimension and channeling, which is something I always do. And so that is what this is about. So in the chat, which you can access on YouTube or in tag, we discussed just one portion of tablet 3, and it had these beings in it. And what I got that we needed to learn in this month was just about this interdimensional experience. This is what Thoth told me, that we have this experience of going in between the dimensions as light workers. We are in the 3D, and then we go up 90 or higher. And we really need to learn how to go back and forth in that so that we don't experience ascension symptoms. So that's what he said to me. He told me that we really need to learn how to go in between the dimensions in a way that doesn't acquire problems or ascension symptoms or just time lag. You know, it's like it just will help us move forward faster by not being dragged down by some of these symptoms. And there's a few other things too that he wanted to bring forward. But in this class, we are just really working on this interdimensional experience, and we're going to have him come forward and talk through me as well as all of these 7 masters of wisdom. And this is the main topic: anchoring, balancing our existence. And also, I do want to recommend, although it's absolutely not necessary that you read any Emerald Tablets for this month or even February, where we continue the discussion, but I really recommend Rebecca's books. She has the Emerald Tablet Study Edition, which makes it very easy to read the Emerald Tablets because she has them in chapter and verse. That makes it easier, and it's really amazing to read these. If you watch the chat, she talked about how they really open you up to be a channel. And of course, we'll be working anyway what we can to open our channel and our psychic senses. I mean, that's what my tag Lightworkers is all about, working on ascension symptoms and working on opening our channel and becoming the Lightworkers we're meant to be, working our light path. And I think that this helps. And then she also has the secret key to the Emerald Tablets, and that is just tablet 3. And she has channeled some extra wisdom in there, and it's really great. So I recommend them. They are on Kindle Unlimited, I think, and Amazon, and I put the links below. So this month we have this masterclass. We have an attunement. We're calling it the Interdimensional Sound Healing Attunement, where Thoth and the 7 masters come forward so that we can attune to each of them, because they each have a purpose that they can help us with in this interdimensional experience. And so that we can anchor dimensional frequencies of 3D to 90 to our 7 main third dimensional chakras. Does that make sense? We have 7 third dimensional chakras, and we need to anchor these higher dimensions into them and anchor into these frequencies so that they can help us. And that's what the attunement is all about. And it's really always the most important part, I think, of tag, because it attunes you to what it is you need to be attuned to. So what will help you go forward? Actually already recorded this masterclass, but then it actually didn't record or something happened. So But when I did, I already got so much information. One thing they said was that you want to line yourself up with some of these uh, abilities that we're trying to put into our body to make it a light body, to make it fifth dimensional, as we're on this journey to the fifth dimension. And then it can, he actually said, run like a program in the background. So I actually said it would run like a program in the background, like once it's part of us, and then we don't have to think about it. Because I was asking him, how do you bring all these dimensions into the 3D? And that was what he said. We can do it by being fully attuned to it, so that it just runs like a program in the background. And that, of course, we always ask, and they will help us. But I'm sure he'll talk about it again, but I just wanted to say that was really cool when he did say that. And then our meditation this month, the channeled guided meditation, is Journey to Amenti. So if you haven't read the Emerald Tablets, Amenti is this great place of regeneration, and also where the seven overlords or seven masters of wisdom are. And the way that Thoth describes Amenti has me seeing it as an interdimensional place that you go to, very much like how we see Avalon that we've talked about before, or you can see in past masterclass. And so our journey to Amenti, we'll be journeying there, and I get that it is in Middle Earth, and we'll be getting regeneration and also information about our light path purpose in this life from these seven masters of wisdom. And then, of course, we have that quick 5-minute sigil video, manifesting sigil, and it's for higher wisdom. So this short light language sigil will connect you to bringing in higher wisdom more consistently in your life. So that's our offers this month in tag. And then, of course, we'll have plenty of extras, so much more wisdom brought in by tag team, and whether you are in tag beginners or tag lightworkers. And so, of course, you can never do all of it, although, of course, we always want to. So just whatever you feel drawn to and whatever you catch is what you're supposed to do. And you can see who our Sound Waves Heal channel mediums are at the tag team page. So let's bring in Thoth now to ask him, how do we anchor and balance our interdimensional existence on this third dimensional plane or planet? The most important aspect is grounding, not just grounding into the third dimensional earth or the land beneath your feet or your yard or your office or wherever you are, but grounding deep into the fifth dimensional grid of our mother Gaia, of this planet. Now, how does the fifth dimensional grid help you in the third dimension? You see, your Earth is not completely third dimensional. There is a fifth dimensional element, and there's been a fourth dimensional element for a long time. But the fifth dimensional element is beginning to grow. It is a web of light that grows around the Earth, and it is becoming thicker and more complex every day. It is a combination of 3D and 5D Earth, and it is the place where you should be anchored, and it will keep you here. When you go to higher dimensions for your Lightworker work, for meditations, and for healing work or anything else that you might be doing, gathering information from your spirit guides, channeling in any way, when you do this, you must stay tethered to the earth a little bit stronger than you may think. And it does not keep you from working in these higher dimensions. It actually makes the channel stronger. And as you go up and you are still tethered to this 5D Mother Gaia Earth, which includes enough of the 3D to keep you tethered to your body, you will have a better experience, and you will come back with less ascension symptoms following. So the image I give to you is of a stick shift vehicle. And if you didn't know how to drive one very well, you would be changing the gears in a way that could wear down the vehicle. And once you learn to drive this vehicle better, using the clutch protectively, then it can be a very smooth ride and you'll get where you're going faster. Do you see how this metaphor can apply to interdimensional working of going between the dimensions or the vibrational characters of these dimensions? So you call them dimensions, but for us, they are vibrational planes, and that's how we see them. And so the less interference and the smoother you can go between all of the planes, the dimensional frequencies, the less ascension symptoms you will occur. So just imagine you are in an elevator and you can go up and down and up and down, but the path to being grounded to the ground is always there. You're always able to return to center, to return to the first floor, the lobby. This is all very, very important. You are supposed to travel between the dimensions. You are supposed to do this work. This is part of going to this ascension of your planet and your bodies and your light body. And we help you do this with ease by attuning you to the frequencies that are the different dimensions. That way, when you go between them, it's smoother. And because there's less ascension symptoms, you get to your destination or where you're going and what you are supposed to do on this planet faster. And so the attunement this month will be attuning you to all 7 overlords of great wisdom. And each one of them will help you between the 3rd dimension and the 9th dimension to attune to it in a way that helps you move between them. And it all is very important. This is Rachel. Just realized how close to the mic I am. Okay, so like I said, I did record this before and it didn't show up and I had to do it again. That happens sometimes because there's just more information or they want it to be smoother or they need me to understand some things first. So sometimes I don't know a whole lot about what is this month. And this is one of those months where, I don't know everything about the Emerald Tablets. I've really only read 1, 2, and 3. So kind of a long study, not one afternoon or 1 month thing. So I'm learning about it too. So I really learned a lot in the first masterclass that I didn't record. And that was one of the things. So the attunement's really important. Now, if you're watching this on YouTube because you're not in Tag Lightworkers, and Tag Lightworkers is just not something that you can do for whatever reason, or it's not calling you so much, although you have been watching these videos, so maybe it is. I like that he says, you can just ask. So you can always ask and have any of these things done for you if you're able to do that. The difference with Tag is that I've made it easy for you, and we do it as a community. We are souls in a journey together. So we're supposed to do it together. And part of my talent, I guess I would say, or my light path is to think of all the different things that everybody needs and to bring it forward so that it's very easy and fits into a busy lifestyle. So I've already tried to bring forth everything anybody would ever need in all of these attunements for even if they watch it next year or 10 years from now. And so it's just easier, but you are able to do it on your own too, if you can, and you can bring it through. That is awesome. For Tag, we do it together and it's one of my favorite things. So I'm so happy to have this community and to do all these things together because they're always new to me too. All right, that's my spiel. Let's go on. They want me to now bring forward these 7 masters of great wisdom. So they are frequencies of light and vibration. We talk about them a bit in the chat that I had with Rebecca, and you can access that. But I wanted to talk about what he was saying. So I'm being drawn away from saying planet because really this is a plane of existence, Earth. And from what I have been shown, there are many planes of existence, and even the dimensions are stacked upon each other. They are, and they can be densities or frequencies. You can think of them any way that you want. And there's different planes of existence like all over the place. I've just seen so much. They've shown me so much with like portals and how different places are just different planes. And that's kind of how our world is. And we have been told a lot of things that aren't exactly true. They weren't exactly understood. So I'm seeing it this way, and I hope that you can start to see it this way too. Okay. There are many layers of existence and planes and places to go. So you may hear me from now on sort of substituting many times the word plane for planet. I just heard Thoth do it, and it just made me think, I don't even know why I'm using the word planet anymore. I want to say this earth plane because that's where we are. So let's start with Untanas, who anchors us to the third dimension and the crown chakra. So this class, we're going to be talking a lot about the chakras because they all connect to one. And it's really interesting because my first question was, why? Why would the third dimension be the crown chakra? Shouldn't that be the root chakra? That makes the most sense. But the answer is because it's all about balance. And so when I asked Thoth that before, that's what he said. It's all about balance. And these frequency overlords, masters, whatever you want to call them, they told me the same thing. It's about balancing it. It's all a balancing act. So you've got the third dimension, the fourth dimension, the fifth dimension, the sixth, all the way down. And then the root chakra is the ninth dimension. How does that make sense and why? That really fascinated me. That's the whole reason that I just felt really drawn to this one part to talk about this month. So let's let Untanas come through and talk to us about it. The crown chakra, of course, should be linked to the third dimension. The crown chakra allows the information to pass from your soul star or your memories, your soul memories, into the third dimensional body. You can think of it as a portal that brings through information. And of course, then you can think about how you are bringing information from higher dimensions into the 3D. So now you see how the crown chakra is linked to the third dimensional plane. And of course, there is balance. You must bring that third dimension higher than just the root chakra. Many of you are not tethered strongly enough to your body and to this earth. And while I recognize it is a difficult place to be as a human in this time, in this place, you must fully commit to the job you have come here to do. It is for your own good. And it is something that you chose. And it will help you in many ways forward, not just in this life, but in many forward. Okay, let's bring in Quertas, the fourth dimension, third eye chakra. So why is the third eye chakra the fourth dimension? So for those of you who don't know, the fourth dimension is duality. In some ways, you can look up what the fourth dimension is in science, appearing here, disappearing, and appearing somewhere else, and how that works, which is really very fascinating. But the duality, you've got fourth dimensional creatures on this earth that can, yes, appear, disappear, shapeshift, do all kinds of things, try to control us, part of the controlling business on this planet. And they are not good fourth dimensional creatures. But there is a good side to the fourth dimension, and that's love. And I often say you go through love to get to the fifth dimension. As once you learn to truly love yourself, you can love everyone and you can leave judgment behind, because judging is part of this fourth dimensional duality. And it's something that we have to learn about and get through to get to the fifth dimension. So the fourth dimension, if I were to choose a chakra for that, I might say the heart, but it's not. It's the third eye. And the third eye is all about it's about your psychic senses. So how does it go together? Let's ask Quertas. It is very important that you learn to balance the fourth dimension. In your lightworking society, you speak much of the third dimension and the fifth dimension, and there is not much about the fourth dimension that you speak of. And yet, it is very, very important. For how will you get to the fifth dimension unless you work on the fourth dimension? And this is the key to understanding and opening your psychic senses and your channeling abilities and bringing in light more into your body. The key is that you must understand the fourth dimension. And once you understand your senses in the fourth dimension, it is very easy to then understand it in the fifth dimension and above. And so I am the one that you call on. You call on my frequency to help you negotiate this frequency shift and to help you negotiate understanding the fourth dimension so that you can open your senses. If you are having trouble opening your senses, there is some fourth dimensional work that must be done, and you may call on my vibration to help you with this. Okay, that's cool. It's similar to what he said last time. I kind of forgot about what it was until he started talking again. Some of these overlords, they're not all men or masculine energies, by the way. This one is, and the last one was. Some of them have a female or non-binary sort of feelings, to me, at least, is how they feel to me. So that's very interesting. And this is another reason why I think the attunement is going to be just really, really important this month. It's funny to hear Thoth talk about the experience of learning to drive a stick shift, because before he just told me that, and I gave that visual in the first masterclass that got erased or whatever, didn't record. And this time with him explaining it, I feel like after I explained it, he really understood like what it felt like to drive a car that way, because I learned on a stick shift myself when I was 18. But I just thought it was cute the way that he explained it. As if Thoth is driving around a stick shift all over the earth, you know what I mean? Anyway, let's bring in Chietal, the fifth dimension, and the throat chakra. So of course I was like, why is the fifth dimension in the throat? And his answer was really cool. For it makes so much sense once you understand, as this medium now does. You are here on this planet as a light worker, and so of course, you are to assimilate information. Some information, once you are open as a channel, comes from your previous lives in ways that you comprehend and understand. And some information is learned, as this medium has learned much in classes and attunements she has attended. You learn from others as well. And once you assimilate that learning into your light path and all of the learning you have accumulated, then you begin to speak of it, and you speak of it in a way that spreads this understanding among others. And so whether your light path is the same as this medium's, where you are teaching others to become or to expand their light work or not, you still bring that idea forward to those you speak to. And the question for you, of course, is where aren't you speaking your light path? Are you afraid of how others will hear or comprehend your conversation, your communication about ascension in 5D, and therefore keep it hidden? Well, that can keep you from fully integrating into the fifth dimension. So if you aren't ready to come out with full communication of your knowledge of this, then it's time to start working towards that goal. Okay. Oh, yeah. I mean, it is hard to come out as a light worker. I don't think you need to, spread the good news and like convince everybody. Obviously, everyone has their own path, and many people are here to stay on the third dimension. Not everyone is supposed to ascend, but to those who are seeking your help and to those who may watch something that you put out in the world, like a YouTube channel like this one, or, where you're talking about this stuff, it's very important. And maybe you're talking to friends, and your friends are also up leveling with you. It's important. So Guyana really feels very feminine to me. And of course, my question was, what does the sixth dimension have to do with the heart chakra? Let's bring her in. Many of you light workers are here becoming fifth and sixth dimensional, as you are, to be a step ahead. Those of you who come to light working first or early amongst the masses, then teach the rest and help them up level to the fifth dimension. And then by the time the whole planet is in the fifth dimension, you are at the sixth, then the seventh, helping them again in another cycle to up level as you go towards that goal on Earth, which will also take a long time and it's not a rush. However, your work as a light worker is never done. And no matter what part of ascension you are joining in, you always have others to teach and to help on the way. The sixth dimensional plane is a plane of pure love. And though there is that element, of course, in the fourth dimension and fifth dimension, in the sixth dimension, there is much more of it, is the only way I can put it in your language. And it is a very important part of it. And so as you are going through the fourth dimension, the fifth dimension, as you get to the sixth dimension, you are truly learning more about love, deeper about love, and expressing more love. I send a visual to this medium to explain to you, maybe in better words than I can. So she shows me just a world where, if there's so much love, it's just, so much heart expansion. I can't describe it, but it's like, how could you ever be worried about anything or concerned or or anything but just joyful if everything is love? And she showed me before too, and what a goal, right? To find so much love that you can leave all stress behind because you understand that there's nothing but love. And I feel there's a great component of that in the fourth dimension where we are now. And I don't think we can comprehend what it's going to be like in the sixth dimension, but there is that part of it. Huertal, the seventh dimension, solar plexus chakra. All right, what does the seventh dimension have to do with the solar plexus? There's much light in the seventh dimension, much light which comes into your light chakra. For your solar chakra is a place where you can accumulate the great light of source, or if you rather think of the central sun, but it is the same light. It comes in through the crown and down into your body and must be anchored at least to the solar chakra. And also we would like you to anchor that down deeper all the way to your earth star chakra as well, below your feet and through the rest of your third dimensional chakras. And this light can be a trickle or it can be a great flame. It depends how open the rest of your chakras above it are and how attuned they are to their direct dimensional space. And so we bring this light down, and when it accumulates in the solar chakra, then that is where you expand it throughout your auric field and send it out to the world. This is where you shine your light, as you would say, shining your light within. We will also be working on this in this month's tag, helping you expand that light within. And when you do, you will find that the trickle becomes a great flame within you, or increases the flame that is already there. And it will shine out through the solar plexus to all. Shine your light. I like that. Now, SemVeta is the 8th dimension and the sacral chakra. What does the 8th dimension and the sacral chakra have in common? Why is it linked here? It is a creative space. It is your sexual chakra. It is creativity and expansion of great connection. It is the way to connect with more beings and helpers. Sex is the pleasure of the 3rd dimension, but has different implications, higher implications, higher reasons in the higher dimensions. It's hard to explain here, for it is different in the higher dimensions, but it is there, a way to connect deeply with another. And it is different than the way that you experience it here. And sex in the 3rd dimension is also something with great feeling that you should be thrilled about, and is one of the reasons many want to experience the 3rd dimension. Because of that, it can be very beautiful. And of course, it can be dark as well, and it can be painful. And that is the flip side of it also having the capacity to hold joy and extreme emotion and pleasure in the 3rd dimension. In the 8th dimension, your sacral chakra helps you connect to other beings, and you will see how it connects. Many of you concentrate or have put your mind to all of the past lives and how they have shaped you for this life. But every life that you have here on this planet shapes you for a future life. And as a light being, there is no time in my dimension or my space that I inhibit. And I see your past and future all being linked, and all that you have decided to experience in this life has a future purpose. Beyond this life may not be something you have thought about, for it's not of immediate concern. But it is all tied together, and it is something to think about. I find that fascinating. So I always see like all this past life stuff and how it relates to this life. And I clear lots of emotions that are tied from past lives that need to be cleared in this life for people all the time. But I never really think about how we are experiencing. I mean, I know we've come here to experience these things because we wanted to experience them, and we wanted to get past these emotional blocks. We wanted to learn how we would react in certain situations and how that would affect us. And we really had it all planned out, but I never thought about it being also something that we would learn and use in a higher dimensional life in the future. And so I think that is really cool. I'd love to hear what you think about that too. Okay, so the last one is Ardal, the 9th dimension, and the root chakra. Very surprising to me that the root chakra would be connected to the 9th dimension. How does it connect? The root chakra in 3D is based upon earthly, physical things and needs and wants. So, what does that have to do with the ninth dimension? It is fully connected, as you have just heard Rachel say. For some of the wants and the needs and the longing and the goals of this life have further reaching implications. They are also part of the ninth dimension. They are also things that are connected when you eventually get to a ninth dimensional body. It will be connected to some of these things. It's very hard to put into third dimensional words, but I show this medium what I speak of so that she may explain it to you. And you can call on me to help you ground and find your security and your support in this chakra. And I bring a ninth dimensional level of help there. Call on all of us to help with each third dimensional chakra as you begin to spin them into a higher frequency or dimension. Okay. I've talked about this before, so it's cool. I often say, "Oh, I talk about this all the time." It's so funny that they said that. But of course, that's why they're speaking through me, or perhaps that's why I've come to this realization a long time ago and talked about it, because one day I was going to talk to Ardal, who was going to tell you this, and then I needed to really understand it. So that's kind of how it works with spirit guides. It feels like, well, she's just saying that because she always says that. That's like one of the things she's always talking about. But really, I have been talking about it for many years, likely because Ardal said, I want to talk about this today. And so I bring it into our experience back here, which of course, as everything connects, is connected to her light path and is, perfectly assimilated in there. And then by the time she gets to this moment, she understands it. So what it is this: any kind of passion or any kind of fantasy that you've had that's like something you want to do, even if it feels impossible. Maybe you're, in your 50s and you want to be a rock star when you're a kid, and you still sometimes think about it. That doesn't mean that being a rock star is your destiny, but perhaps there's something in there. There's something part of that. If you can pick that apart and find what the feeling is that you want in that and how that might be connected to your light path, you can. So as a child, I wanted to be a veterinarian for a short period of time. And now I work with animal spirits in a way that's very fulfilling. I work with animal totems. I work with animals. It's not my full work. I'm not an animal psychic or anything like that. It's not my focus, but it is something that is important to me. It's speaking to my pets and speaking to animals who are galactical beings and speaking to light beings who are animals and speaking to animals who are actually elementals. That sort of thing is a big part of my life, if not the focus of my light path, and is important. Now, the main part of my life, I wanted to be an opera singer. I wanted to get on stage, have a great time in a beautiful costume, get to act and in the moment, be present. And that's what I really loved about stage work and improv, was being really present in that moment. Reaction, not always just pre-planned words. With opera, it's a little weird, the improv, because it's a memorized. You can't deviate from the script, yet your emotion can be improv depending on how the acting unfolds on that one day. You could be doing the same, well, you are doing the same opera for many days in a row, but it could be a totally different performance between Friday and Sunday. And that was one of the things that I loved about it. That, and just knowing that while I was doing all that fun stuff, that my voice, because of sound healing basics, was healing the audience. And so people were being healed, and yet I was just having a good time. And if you boil it down now, that's what I'm doing now. People are being healed. I'm having a good time. I'm learning more. I have an insatiable, questionable nature. I want to know everything, and I'm learning all these things and teaching others while I learn it. It's fantastic. And so there's something to that. So there's something to any of these fantasies or wants or desires or dreams that you have that are connected to your light path. And so what Ardal is saying is that these things, these wants, these needs, these passions, these things in the root chakra, those physical things, also have a meaning down the line when one day we are ninth dimensional, which, you know, could be a really long time from now. But I just find that's really fascinating. What do you think? All right, well, this concludes our masterclass. I hope you enjoyed it. I'd love to hear what you think about this. I think all of this information is just really great. If you're in TAG and you're watching this the first week of January or whenever in the month on the TAG website, then know that your comments, if you have other questions for these 8 beings, that Olivia Page does do the masterclass part 2. And if you have any questions and you're on YouTube right now, put them in the comments and have her answer it. And one day you'll get those answers yourself, I bet. Olivia's part of our tag team, which are the Sound Waves Heal certified mediums that do lots of lives and offers every week in tag. And thank you all so much for coming. Please like and subscribe if you're on YouTube right now watching this, and know that Thoth and all of these 7 great wisdom masters are available to you, and you can call on them no matter what. So thank you so much for coming, and I can't wait to hear what other questions you have. All right, bye.